uSports Central on a Tuesday. Charles Ashley III, Adam Deal here. Now we're talking 3 and out. Charles, we just went over the APS Metro Championships. We saw the boys on Monday. You saw the girls. You saw Maya Brown take care of business at the pit.
Yeah.
And now it's time to step up and talk about that national championship game last night. That's the first topic here on 3 and out. And look, there's a lot to talk about, obviously, but how about Marietta? I'm just going to say it. He was contained. He did not have a good game. It's going to hurt his draft stock, no doubt about it. There's reports now that he's thinking about coming back to college next year. Don't do that.
Oh, where do I start? Great picture, J. Paul.
That pretty much says it right
That summed up the night. Ohio State, they said athlete for athlete, we think we can match up with you guys. So they pressured them a lot. They brought the bigs, they brought the linebackers. They relied on their secondary to stop those receivers, albeit a depleted receiving core from Oregon. But they have no excuses. Ohio State had no excuses going to their third-string quarterback. You play with who's on the field. Ohio State did that. And Urban Meyer, let's give him credit. He put together a phenomenal game plan. Because if you think about it, every time Mariota went to the outside, there was 2 or 3 guys waiting for him on the outside. So they dared Oregon to run up the middle. And Oregon didn't want no parts to run up the middle because they wanted to go to the outside.
This game, I kept waiting for Oregon to kind of take over. And you saw in the third quarter they get a quick strike after a turnover, and you're thinking, okay,
here we go.
This is where they're going to take over the game. I believe it made it 21-20. 21-20, right? And that was actually eventually their last score. You just feel like Oregon was going to jump ahead. At least I did. And it just never happened. Once we got to the fourth quarter, I was thinking, you know what? Ohio State might just pull this one off. Well, they didn't just pull it off. They dominated that fourth quarter. And so now let's talk about Cordell Jones.
Yes.
Okay, he starts in 3 games in the history of his career, wins them all. He wins the Big Ten championship, smashing Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He upsets Alabama in the Sugar Bowl and then wins the national championship. This was a third-string quarterback. Now people are saying he's going to get drafted, Charles. People are saying he's going to get drafted in the NFL after 3 games played in the NCAA College Division I.
Okay.
Explain that one to me.
Number one, he beat out Braxton Miller and J.T. Barrett in spring practice. For some reason, he got in trouble. He made some immature mistakes or whatnot. He got demoted to the third string.
He was never going to start over
I'm
Braxton
just
Miller.
saying.
Okay, that wasn't going to happen.
That's reports
Maybe
coming
J.T.
out.
Barrett.
They had him as he was listed as the first-string quarterback for the spring games. But I agree with you. The guy's only played 3 games.
Is he
going
to go to the draft?
Strange.
Is he going to go to the draft?
If there's people telling
you, would you go to the draft?
Yeah. If there's people telling
what if you
me
could come
after
back and start though
games,
next year, you're
do
guaranteed.
Do we know?
Well, it's going to be interesting. J.T. Barrett's probably hoping, please go to the draft, and maybe Braxton Miller transfers. You were mentioning that because he gets his degree, he can do it without sitting out, and he can kind of pick his way. That's a tough situation. Urban Meyer's going to handle it the right way, though. You know he is. But back to this game. The Oregon Ducks, they hurt themselves, too. They turned Ohio State over 4 times, and they could not take advantage. They had a lot of fumbles. They recovered their own fumbles, a lot of drop passes on third down right in their arms where they just dropped it. I mean,
that's the worst.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst. Confetti coming down. It's not your confetti.
So Oregon, which was in the top 5 or 10 in points off of turnovers, so with them getting 4 turnovers, you're thinking, oh, wow. 4 turnovers.
If I would have told you,
this game.
if I would have told you before the game, Charles, it's going to be 4-1 on turnovers in favor of Oregon. What would you have thought the outcome of this game would? Blowout,
I would think
right?
it's 42-20 Oregon.
The other way.
Yeah.
So very interesting in how this
crazy.
one finished. Big congratulations to Ohio State. No one even thought they were probably going to be in that Final Four the way things were going. They slipped up early at home against Virginia, which was a puzzling loss. But they rebound nicely. That's Urban Meyer for you.
Yeah, it's a young team. Heavy freshman, sophomore team. That Virginia Tech game, you just now get to see what J.T. Barrett can do. But as you mentioned, hats off to Urban Meyer for righting the ship, getting his guys focused and moving forward and winning the national title.
It all played out really nice to the Final Four leading to this because Ohio State would have never had a shot to play in the national championship from the beginning. So we truly do find out who the best is. It worked. It proved itself this year.
It worked.
Moving on here on 3 and Out here, Charles. And, Rex Ryan has found himself another job. I thought at least it would have taken another year maybe to get back in, or I thought he was going to have to be a defensive coordinator. But, nope, he got offers all over the place and ends up going to the Bills, which we both think is just, I think, it's the Jets 2.0.
It is.
A beautiful defense, a shaky offense. with a shaky quarterback, I think he's in the exact same situation he was in, and I think he's going to be gone in 2 years.
I agree.
Really do.
So you have Rex Ryan. He's known for his defense, and I agree with you in the sense that I thought he would be a defensive coordinator for someone for a year, maybe do some commentary or whatnot or analytical work, but he doesn't. He gets a job, right? Not just a job. He gets offered Falcons' job. He was mentioning the Bears' job, Bills' job. Every job that was available, he was offered.
Niners even, I think.
So I'm thinking, why can't the NFL ever just go outside of the norm? It's such an old, like Bubba system that they stick to the script.
Well, I know you've been waiting to rant on this, so come on, feed it. Let's go.
No, it's ridiculous. You have all these talented assistant coaches out there. You have these talented head coaches that's in the college ranks, and then you go to a guy who just came off 2 of his worst seasons. He's known for not even having any type of offensive schemes. He just throws teams out there, and he's the first one offered big-time jobs. It bothers me, man. It still bothers me. It's always bothered me.
The fact that, Coach Fox, he's going to probably land a job quick. It could be with the Bears. Maybe it's not. The Niners are going to interview him. But the coaching carousel is weird to me because a coach will lose his job and then everyone wants him. And it's just curious to me.
Where in America can you get fired 4 or 5 times?
Right, and then everyone
and still
wants
get the same job.
Shanahan's talking about coming back into the league.
Kubiak.
He was unsuccessful
all these people.
at Washington, but everyone seems to want him because John Elway carried him to 2 Super Bowl wins. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. We're going to see. We're going to see where this carousel lands. It's just basically like one of these teams just make trades. Here, I'll trade you my coach for your coach. That's what they're doing at the end.
They might as well
do a 3-way trade.
Just trade, and then we don't have to go through this of wondering how a guy who's losing and losing, and not just losing terribly, can land a good job or whatnot. Doug Marrone's on the market, which I can kind of understand why he would do that. He left for a reason, the Bills coach. He left for a reason. I don't know why.
I would like to see the NFL reach more out to college coaches, like how successful Harbaugh was coming from college into the NFL. Look at Pete Carroll, what he's done at Seattle, coming from, and though he was in the league before he went college and then went back to the league, but he's been successful. I think that's where it's at. Developing maybe young offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators into the head coaching roles is more likely a successful situation, I think, than just bringing in a coach that has had some success and failures. I think it's a better draw.
All these phenomenal coordinators, Gacy, Pep Hamilton, old guy at the
Rob Marinelli.
Rob Marinelli. Even Greg Roman. Yet and still, they're going to be assistants.
More to talk about here on 3 and Out. We're going to go back to high school hoops when you return. What's the best district in the state? You'll find out next here on uSports Central.